Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have been meaning to make this video for quite some time. I have been holding off on this video for a while now because of the constant changes. Oh God, do I even go into that? I'm going to reveal my current pending change website for my students this year. I have never used a class website before. I've seen teachers utilize them and link them with Google Classroom for years. I've seen them do this. I always thought, that seems like it's too much work, but after much research, and because we are going 100% distance learning, yes, I know. In my recent video, I talked about how we were going into hybrid schedule, and I even went over was it here? But that's not happening anymore. Literally the day after, that Friday, it was revealed that never mind, Oahu is not doing well. Our cases are still in the triple digits daily. The DOE has come up with a 3-phase plan for reopening schools with 100% distance learning, which still isn't really 100%, but I'm not going to talk about that in this video. Too much stuff. So like I said, I made a class website for all of my periods. I'll have 3 classes this year, but I'm really proud of it, even though I'm pretty sure it's going to undergo more changes. That's been the most frustrating part about creating this website. I feel like I've finalized it and everything, and then we're told that there are more changes happening. I'm not going to go into that. Let's get on to my website. Of course, I used Google Slides to create all my banners and images that I use throughout this website. I am using this for all 3 of my periods, as you can see up here, 1, 2, 3. And I'm just going to walk you through what each student will have to do as they navigate through this website every single day. Before, we were going to have a hybrid learning schedule, so a third of the students would be on campus for 3 days out of the 5 days, and then on Mondays and Fridays it was supposed to be like a virtual classroom day, so they would all be at home. But the thing that I was struggling with was having a routine for every single day that was the same. So I knew that I had to utilize some kind of technological routine, whether they were going to be with me in person or at home. That doesn't matter now because they'll all be at home. I actually got this idea from Too Cool for Middle School. I've been watching her videos for years. I got this idea from her, so thanks Too Cool for Middle School. Thanks, Megan. This is the very first thing that students will get. Maybe I should give some background. I'm so sorry. I'm going to send them an email every morning, and in that email, it'll have the Google Meets link. There will also be a checklist for the day, and the checklist will consist of what they need to accomplish in this particular class. I learned this from Learning Hub. If you have been keeping up with my channel, I want them to do that because they were able to know exactly what they were doing every day. I have a fear a lot of the students are not going to do the work simply because they don't know what needs to be done. Maybe it's not clear for them. I just want to nip that in the bud immediately at the start of class and just have them copy down exactly what they are doing every single day. And then what's also in that same email is the link to this class website right here. So it takes them to this class website, and every single day they scroll and it says click on your class period below to access today's assignment and materials. So they would click on their corresponding class. I'm going to go over that in a second because I want to show my homepage first. If you were to scroll down, whether you're a parent or a student, I have my contact information here. I'm going to have to find a way to blur that out so nobody calls me. And then I provided the distance learning bell schedule, but this is probably going to change. We have no idea yet. I got this idea from another teacher Instagrammer making a statement in SPED, Erin. She is also such an awesome educator. I thought this was a great idea because at the very start, I want all students to know that they are all welcome, even if we are in a digital classroom. So I added that here in a big poster. And then if you scroll down even more, I have the class information. I posted my current expectations that I was thinking about implementing this school year. They were the same expectations as last school year, but I decided to change them slightly. I used to have 5 expectations. I narrowed it down to 3 main ones. The expectations do need to be specific for this kind of learning platform. So number 1 is be kind and respectful to all. And we can always talk about what that means in, meeting in Google Meets, even listening attentively. What does that mean when we are all together in class virtually? And then this one is something that I added to my expectations, especially this year. Have a growth mindset. This school year is just going to be a struggle, I can tell, not just academically, but especially emotionally for the students and even for us teachers, Looking forward to discussing what these 3 expectations mean for the upcoming school year. I also included our routine every day so that if students forget what we do every single day, it's right there. And then if you keep scrolling, I am going to implement standards-based grading this year. I was so inspired by the summer reading book club that we had where we read Grading for Equity. So I have some information here, some graphics explaining to the students and parents what that means. I included a quote from an article I found online about why standards-based grading is so great, and it just makes sense. I have a small About Your Teacher segment over here, that's me. I added at the very, very bottom a huge sign that says "You Matter." I just want to make sure that no matter where the students look on this homepage, that they are reminded I care about them and that they do matter. So, up here I have this, and at the very bottom, I have this message. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what the students will do after they have clicked their link to this class website from their email. And let's just pretend that I am in Miss Gallius's Period 2 English. So I would click on this link and it takes me to this tab right here. I always have directions here. It says first do this, fill out and submit the attendance form. I don't know if this attendance form is still going to be used because we might get new information tomorrow. So I'll just have to probably edit this as well. But for now, this is what I envision will happen. I do ask them how are they feeling today. Sometimes we feel multiple feelings at the same time. And then they also have this option to talk about what other feelings do they feel that are not listed. I also included my I wish my teacher knew section. Usually if we were in class, in person, it's also optional. They keep scrolling down. I give them the second thing to do, so they have to click on this link and complete today's due now. So if they click on this link, that link directly takes me to this assignment. I was hesitant to make a Google Sites because I thought it would be an extra stress for the students to have so many tabs open, but I did not realize that you can actually create a direct link to the actual assignment instead of just the header of the assignment. It would take them directly here, and this would be the due now for the day. And I will always have this as the first prompt, so they do always have to type their checklist that was in the email. I want to make sure that they are writing down the checklist, that they are checking their emails. If anything happens, and they need to contact me, I do want them to get into the habit of checking their emails. So that's why I always have that number 1 question there. And then after they answer that question, they would have to answer the second one, which is usually a due now prompt related to the lesson that day. Something that's not really written here that I usually do in person in a typical school year is I always have 1 to 2 students share out their due nows. I'm thinking about still doing that even if it is virtual. I will still use the clothespin method when I'm at school. I'll pick 2 people's names and then they will share out their due now, because I still want us to build that class community even if we are at a distance. And then they would go back to the website because they still have things to do. And it says third, review today's slides and complete the assignment. So I have not edited these slides at all yet. I decided to use this one for English because, there's a notepad and it looks like a desk and Post-it. So I thought that was nice. They can go through these slides and look for the assignments there. And just to show you for variety's sake, if I were to go into period 3, since they're a different class, they're not English. It looks pretty much the same except the slides are different. Because we are arts and communications, I did change it to a more artsy, colorful look instead of the English class slides. And I also did this too because I think about 11 or 12 students I have in both classes. So I don't want them to be confused with what slides belong to what class. So I made it different. And then I also added something that I think will be helpful for my students in remembering when the assignments are due. For each class, I included a calendar so they can click on that. Currently, there is no work to be done, so it's pretty empty. It just has that assignment that I had there. Okay, that was kind of a long video. I hope that if you are watching this video and you did get to see my website, that it helps you get a sense of how to organize your own website. There were a couple of Google Site tutorials on YouTube, but they didn't really give me like a full example of how they would run their class using it. I thought that maybe this might help you, especially secondary teachers. I'm hoping that the way that I organized it is concise, it's simple, easy for my students to understand, because that's one thing that I'm concerned about in a couple of weeks when they do come back. Are you planning on using a Google Site? Are you just using Google Classroom? What are you planning on doing for routines? Oh, and please be sure to like and subscribe if you like this video. I always post twice a week. Check out my bio below because I always have teacher shout outs. We have so many great educators that are on YouTube, so be sure to check their channel out too. Bye!